Imagine a thief broke into your house while you were sleeping deeply. But this isn't a normal burglar. He is quiet. He wears soft-soled shoes. He moves through your living room like a ghost. He walks right past your expensive flat-screen television. He ignores the cash you left on the kitchen counter. He doesn't even glance at your jewelry box in the bedroom. He isn't interested in the things you can replace with an insurance check. Instead, he opens the door to the basement. He goes down into the dark, damp crawl space. He takes out a chisel and a heavy sledgehammer. And he starts stealing the bricks out of your foundation, one by one. He chips away the mortar. He slides a brick out. Then another. Then another. He puts them in a bag and carries them away. Upstairs, you don't hear a thing. You are sleeping soundly. The next morning, you wake up. You stretch. You make coffee. The sun is shining. The house looks exactly the same. The paint is fresh. The windows are clean. The floor feels solid under your feet. You feel safe. You have absolutely no idea that the very thing holding you up is disappearing brick by brick. Night after night, the thief comes back. He takes more bricks. The house is still standing, but structurally it is becoming a shell. It is getting weaker by the hour. Then, one day, a small storm rolls through. It's a storm that should have been harmless, just a bit of wind, maybe a heavy rain. But because the foundation is gone, the walls crack, the floor gives way, the whole thing collapses into the basement. This is exactly what is happening to your spine right now. You feel fine, you walk fine, you might even go to the gym and feel strong. You look in the mirror and see a healthy person. But your skeleton is getting lighter every single hour. It is becoming like a honeycomb, full of air where there used to be solid rock. Most people think calcium loss is just a normal part of aging. They think it's inevitable, like getting gray hair or wrinkles. They think it's just bad luck or genetics. It is not. It is often a specific, violent chemical reaction happening in your stomach. It is a robbery. And the worst part? You invited the thief in. You opened the door. You set the table for him. It is happening because of what you ate for lunch. There are specific foods that act like that thief. They don't just sit in your stomach. They actively pull minerals out of your bones to neutralize themselves. If you click away from this video, you might go to the kitchen and eat the one healthy salad ingredient that is actually stripping your hip bones bare. You might drink the diet beverage that is washing your spine out through your kidneys. We are going to count down the top 5 acid bombs hiding in your pantry. We will start with the common ones, but you must stay until the very end for the number 1 item. Why? Because the number 1 item is a vegetable you have been told is a superfood. You probably force yourself to eat it because you think it's healthy. But without one specific kitchen chemistry trick I will teach you, this vegetable acts like a Trojan horse, sneaking into your body and locking up your calcium. I will show you how to neutralize it so you can eat it safely. First, you have to understand the why. You have to understand the biology of the crime scene. It is not about digestion. It is about survival. Your blood has a strict law. It is a biological mandate that is more important than your heart rate or your blood pressure. Your blood must stay neutral. It has to stay at a pH of roughly 7.35 to 7.45. This number is not a suggestion. It is a cliff edge. If your blood drops even a tiny bit and becomes too acidic, a condition called acidosis, your enzymes stop working. Your electrical signals fail. Your cells cannot process oxygen. You die. It is that serious. So your body has a panic button. It is a survivalist. It will do anything to keep you alive right now, even if it damages you for later. When you eat highly acidic foods, and I'm not talking about lemons or limes, which ironically become alkaline inside your body, I'm talking about chemical acid formers like processed compounds, your blood goes into emergency mode. It screams, I need a buffer. I need something alkaline to neutralize this acid right now, or the system shuts down. It looks around the body. It needs a fire extinguisher. Where is the biggest store of alkaline minerals in your body? It's not in your stomach. It's not in your liver. It is your skeleton. Your bones are basically a giant bank vault full of calcium, magnesium, and potassium. Calcium is the perfect base. It neutralizes acid instantly. So your body makes a desperate trade-off. It activates cells called osteoclasts. Think of these as a demolition crew. They dissolve a tiny bit of your hip bone. They take a sliver from your spine. They dissolve the dense matrix of your femur. They release that calcium into the blood to put out the fire caused by your lunch. The calcium meets the acid, they neutralize, your blood pH returns to safe levels, you survive. But here is the tragedy. That calcium does not go back to the bone. Once it is used as a buffer, it is spent. It is chemically bound to the acid. It gets filtered by the kidneys and flushed out in your urine. You have permanently lost a piece of your foundation. You are literally dissolving your own structure to put out the fire caused by your diet. It is like ripping up your hardwood floors to burn them in the fireplace because you turned off the heat. It keeps you warm for an hour, but you ruined the house. According to a major study published by the Journal of Nutrition involving thousands of participants, this acid load from modern diets is a primary driver of bone mineral density loss, independent of age. You are not just getting old, you are chemically eroding yourself. Now let's identify the culprits. Let's look at the lineup of thieves, starting with number 5. The liquid fracture, phosphoric acid. I want you to picture a rusty bolt. Imagine an old car engine covered in grime, grease, and reddish-brown oxidation. When a mechanic wants to clean the rust off a piece of metal, do you know what they soak it in? They don't use soap. They soak it in phosphoric acid. It is powerful enough to eat the rust right off the metal. It strips it clean down to the shiny steel. Now stand up and go to your fridge. Look at the label on a can of dark soda. Read the ingredients. What is the second or third ingredient listed, right after the carbonated water and the sugar? Phosphoric acid. It is right there in black and white. When you drink dark colas, you are pouring an industrial-grade acid into your delicate internal system. You are drinking rust remover. This acid creates a massive mineral imbalance in your body. Your body maintains a strict ratio of phosphorus to calcium. It's like a teeter-totter on a playground. They have to be balanced for your body to function. When you flood your body with the massive amount of phosphorus found in dark soda, the teeter-totter slams down on one side. Your body senses too much phosphorus. It panics. To fix the balance, it has to dump calcium. It pulls calcium out of your bones and excretes it to try and level out that teeter-totter. The Framingham Osteoporosis study, one of the most comprehensive studies on bone health ever conducted, found that women who drank cola daily had significantly lower bone mineral density in their hips than those who didn't. This isn't a theory. It is a measurable loss. It is a double whammy. First, the acid destroys your digestion and creates an acidic environment that demands buffering. Second, it robs the bone bank to fix the chemical imbalance of the phosphorus. You are attacking yourself from two sides simultaneously. And don't think you are safe just because you drink the diet version. The sugar is bad, yes, but the acid is the thief. The acid is present in the diet version too. Even clear sodas can be acidic because of the carbonation, carbonic acid. But the dark ones are the heavyweights. They are the demolition crew. You are drinking a liquid that forces your body to dissolve its own support beams just to process it. If you value your ability to walk upright in your 80s, or if you want to be able to carry your groceries up the stairs without fear, you have to look at that can of soda differently. It's not a treat. It's a liquid fracture waiting to happen. Try. If you need the fizz, if you crave that cold bite at the back of your throat, swap the cola for sparkling water with a heavy squeeze of fresh lime. You get the bubbles, you get the cold sensation, but you don't get the industrial acid. Plus, the lime provides citrate, which actually helps prevent kidney stones. The white poison paradox, refined sugar. We all know sugar is bad for our waistlines. We know it's bad for our hearts. We know it causes inflammation. But very few people realize that sugar is a direct enemy of bone density. It works through the kidneys. Your kidneys are amazing organs. They are the ultimate recycling center. Every day, they filter your blood. They catch the calcium that is floating around, and they say, wait, we need this. And they send it back into the body to be reabsorbed. They are the guardians of your minerals. They prevent you from losing your reserves. But when you eat refined sugar, cakes, cookies, sweet coffee drinks, even too much white bread, your insulin spikes. It goes through the roof. High insulin is like a frantic messenger. It runs to your kidneys and starts screaming orders. It confuses the recycling center. Research indicates that acute spikes in glucose and insulin inhibit the renal reabsorption of calcium. In plain English, when insulin is high, the kidneys stop saving calcium. They open the floodgates. You end up excreting calcium in your urine. This is called hypercalciuria. It's a tragedy because you might be taking expensive calcium supplements. You might be drinking milk. You might be doing everything else right. But if you are eating high sugar, you are just flushing that expensive calcium right down the toilet. You are filling a bucket that has a massive hole in the bottom. Furthermore, sugar creates inflammation. Inflammation triggers cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone that actively breaks down bone. It is a cascade of destruction. Pause for a second. I want you to go to the comments right now and type the word sugar if you have been trying to quit sweets but find it impossible. I read every single comment, and I know how hard that addiction is to break. It is a biological craving, not a lack of willpower. We can support each other there. Try. Swap your afternoon sweet treat for a handful of berries, blueberries or raspberries. Why? The fiber in the berries slows down the sugar hit. Because it absorbs slowly, you don't get that massive insulin spike. If you don't get the spike, the kidneys don't panic. It's a small change, but it saves your bones. The invisible preservative, hidden sodium. This brings us to the savory side, the salt trap. Salt is sneaky because we need it to live. We need sodium for our nerves to fire and our muscles to contract. But in the modern world, we are drowning in it. Sodium and calcium are like two people trying to fit through a narrow door at the same time. They fight for the same exit channel in your kidneys. It is a competition, and sodium usually wins. For every bit of excess sodium you excrete, you drag calcium out with it. It's like a vacuum. If your body has to get rid of a ton of salt because you ate a bag of chips or a can of soup, that salt grabs onto calcium molecules and drags them out into the urine. They leave together. It is an inseparable bond in the kidney tubule. You might not even taste the salt. That is the danger. We think, I don't use the salt shaker, I'm safe. But look at your bread. Look at your cereal. Look at your deli meat. Look at your canned soup. They are loaded with sodium preservatives like sodium nitrate and monosodium glutamate. A single turkey sandwich can have your entire day's allowance of sodium. The salt shaker on your table is actually the least of your worries. It's the hidden salt in the package. A study from the University of Alberta confirmed that high dietary sodium is a significant risk factor for osteoporosis because of this calcium leaching effect. If your bones ache, or if you have been diagnosed with osteopenia, look at your sodium intake. You might be eating perfectly healthy foods that are just preserved with too much salt. Now, safety first. Do not cut salt entirely if you have low blood pressure or specific health conditions. You need some. Consult your doctor before making drastic changes. But for most of us, Lowering the sodium load is like giving our bones a vacation. They stop being drained. Try. Rinse your canned beans and vegetables before you cook them. Just put them in a colander and run water over them for 10 seconds until the bubbles stop. You wash away about 40% of the excess sodium instantly. It's free, it's fast, and it protects your calcium. The ghost ingredient, chelators. There is one hidden enemy that scares me because it is hidden in plain sight. It is in things you think are harmless. It is in things you use every day. Go to your fridge and grab a bottle of salad dressing. Or grab a jar of mayonnaise. Look at the label. Scan the fine print at the bottom. Do you see the letters EDTA? Or maybe calcium disodium EDTA or sodium benzoate? These are preservatives. EDTA is a chelator. In chemistry, a chelator is a claw. Imagine a microscopic crab claw. Its entire job is to grab onto minerals. In the food bottle, it grabs minerals so the oil doesn't go rancid. It keeps the product looking fresh for 2 years. It stops bacteria from growing by starving them of the minerals they need to reproduce. But here is the problem. When you eat it, that claw is still active. It doesn't dissolve, it gets into your stomach, and it starts grabbing things. It doesn't know the difference between the food and your body. It steals zinc, it steals magnesium, it steals calcium. You are eating dead food. It has been chemically treated to stay alive on the shelf, but it contributes to making you dead inside by robbing you of the minerals you need to function. You are putting a chemical thief directly into your system. We are trading shelf life for human life. We want the mayonnaise to last forever, so we eat the thing that makes our bones dissolve. It is a cumulative effect. 1 tablespoon won't kill you, but if you have it every day for 20 years, that is a constant low-level drain on your mineral reserves. Try. Make your own dressing. It takes 10 seconds. Olive oil, apple cider vinegar, a little mustard, and some herbs. Shake it up in a jar. No chemicals, no claws, just pure nutrition that actually helps your bones absorb calcium. The healthy Traitor oxalates spinach. Now we have arrived at the most important point. This is the one that trips up the healthiest people. This is the green Traitor. I'm talking about spinach. I'm talking about rhubarb. I'm talking about beet greens and Swiss chard. We think these are the heroes of the diet world. We have been told since we were children to eat our greens. We put them in smoothies. We eat big bowls of raw spinach salads thinking we are building iron and strength. We force ourselves to eat them even when we don't like the taste. But these specific greens contain a magnet molecule called oxalic acid. Oxalic acid is aggressive. It is a chemical binder. When it gets into your system, it hunts. It is looking for a partner. It wants to bond with a mineral. Its favorite target is calcium. If you eat a bowl of plain spinach, that oxalic acid is released in your gut. It binds to the calcium in the spinach itself, rendering it useless. But it doesn't stop there. It binds to any other calcium in your gut from the rest of your meal. It locks it up tight. It turns it into a hard, jagged crystal called calcium oxalate. This crystal cannot be absorbed by your bones. Your body cannot use it. It is trash. So your body flushes it out. You think you are getting nutrients, but that spinach is actually robbing you of the calcium you ate in the rest of your meal. It flushes it out before your bones ever see it. And if you are dehydrated, those crystals don't just flush out. They get stuck. They lodge in the kidneys. They grow. That is what a kidney stone is. It is a clump of calcium that was stolen by oxalates. If you have ever passed a kidney stone, you know it feels like passing shards of glass. That is the violence of this chemical reaction. Research from the University of Chicago Kidney Stone Center has shown that high oxalate diets are the leading cause of the most common type of kidney stones. It's not calcium that causes the stones. It's the oxalates stealing the calcium. But wait, do not run to the kitchen and throw out your spinach. I love spinach. It has incredible vitamins, it has fiber, it is good for your eyes. There is a specific kitchen chemistry trick, a simple pairing you can do right on your plate that disarms this acid instantly. It changes the chemistry so you get the vitamins without losing the calcium. Here is the secret. You must eat calcium with the oxalates. If you put cheese, yogurt, or a splash of cream on the spinach, a chemical reaction happens. The calcium in the dairy binds to the oxalate in the spinach while it is still in the pan or while it is in your stomach. They snap together. Think of the oxalate as a pair of handcuffs. If you eat spinach alone, those handcuffs go into your blood and look for your bones. But if you add cheese, the handcuffs snap onto the cheese calcium immediately. They are locked. Because they are already bound, the oxalate cannot steal calcium from your bones. It is full. It is neutralized. The bond happens outside your blood. This means the oxalate passes right through you harmlessly. You get the fiber, you get the vitamins from the greens, and your bones stay 100% safe. It is the perfect defense. This is why traditional cultures often served cream with spinach or cheese with greens. They knew intuitively what we forgot. You need the pair. The dairy acts as the sacrificial lamb to save your skeleton. Try. The next time you make a spinach salad, add a generous slice of feta cheese. Or if you saute beet greens, add a splash of heavy cream or eat a yogurt on the side. That pairing disarms the trap. It turns a villain into a hero. Bonus, the protein balance. I have to mention one more thing because it is so controversial. The protein myth. You will hear people say meat causes bone loss. Then you hear meat builds bone. Which is it? The truth is in the balance. We need protein. Your bones are actually made of a protein matrix. It's like the steel rebar inside a concrete pillar. The calcium is the cement, but the protein is the steel. You need collagen and muscle to protect those bones. If you are frail, you fall and you break things. So you need the steak, you need the chicken, you need the eggs. However, animal protein creates a high acid load. Animal proteins are rich in sulfurous amino acids. When you digest meat, it produces sulfuric acid. If you eat a steak-only diet, if you are a carnivore with no veggies, your body has to buffer that acid. And we know how it does that. It steals calcium. But this doesn't mean you stop eating meat. It means you have to balance the equation. Think of meat as the gas pedal. It gives you power. It drives the car. But you need a steering wheel. That steering wheel is vegetables. If you eat a steak, you must eat a big serving of broccoli, asparagus, or zucchini with it. These are alkaline vegetables. They neutralize the acid from the meat. The net result is neutral. Your bones are safe. The mistake isn't eating meat. The mistake is eating meat alone. The mistake is the burger bun instead of the salad. Try. Visually divide your plate. If half is meat, the other half must be green. That is the safety ratio. If you stick to that, you get the muscle-building benefits of the protein without the acid tax on your bones. The alkaline defense, rebuilding the fortress. Now that we have stopped the leaks, we need to rebuild. We need to go on the offensive. You need the alkaline defense. To protect your bones, you need to flood your body with minerals that buffer acid so your bones don't have to. The two peacekeepers are potassium and magnesium. Potassium citrate is a miracle for this. It is found in lemons, avocados, and bananas. When you eat these foods, they produce an alkaline ash in your body. It's like sending a cooling crew into a fire. If your blood is alkaline rich from these vegetables, your bones can finally rest. They don't have to dissolve. They don't have to release calcium. They can focus on rebuilding. Bone broth is good, everyone talks about it, and it has collagen. But mineral-rich vegetables are the true shield. They stop the acid attack at the source. You want to create an internal environment that is calm. You want your blood to be cool and balanced so it never has to ring the alarm bell. Just a quick safety note. Talk to your clinician before supplementing potassium pills if you are on heart medication or blood pressure pills, as that balance is delicate and pills are powerful. But for food, eat as many avocados as you want. Eat the lemons. Eat the leafy greens with the cheese. So let's build your final fortress. You don't have to be afraid of your food, but you have to be smart. You have to be aware. First, stop the leaks. Cut the dark soda. It's just not worth it. The rust remover does not belong in your body. Second, watch the hidden salt in the bread and soup. Rinse your beans. Third, balance your protein. Never eat meat without a green companion. Fourth, watch out for the ghost preservatives. Make your own dressing with olive oil and vinegar. It takes 10 seconds. And fifth, when you eat those healthy high oxalate greens, neutralize the acid with a little bit of dairy. Your bones are living tissue. They are not dead sticks of chalk. They are alive. They have blood vessels. They are constantly breaking down and building up. They can heal. They can get stronger. But they can only get stronger if you stop stealing from them. You have the power to change the density of your frame. Protect your foundation. You need it for the long haul. You need it to carry you through the best years of your life. You don't want to be the house that collapses in a small storm. You want to be the house that stands for 100 years, sheltering your family and standing tall against the wind. If this video helped you understand your body better, please consider hitting the subscribe button. I am posting a complete guide on magnesium next week, the master mineral, and you cannot miss that if you care about your energy levels. Check out our other great video about the bone eater acid, foods that leach calcium from your spine. If you missed any details, just tap the card on the screen right now.